Dear friends, welcome back. As I mentioned in the last video, in this particular video lesson, we shall be taking a look at the concept of conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is any situation in which two opposite parties have different interests. This raises many ethical as well as legal issues. For example, if there is a scientist who is doing a trial for a drug, say for any particular disease, and he is on the payroll or the research has been funded by a pharmaceutical company which manufactured the drug in question, then obviously there is a conflict of interest. And that scientist will have to declare that I was financed or the drug was supplied by the manufacturer and I stand to benefit from that. Similar situations can arise in a conveyance deed. Let us see how. First of all, we must understand what are the advocate's duties, and these are summarized in the Bar Council rules of every state. The advocate whom you engage must give a full and frank disclosure if he has any connections with the parties of the suit or any interest that he may have. In other words, we are consulting an advocate, and if that advocate is also consulting the promoter or the landowners, in that case, he will have to declare that and make sure that there is no conflict of interest. The second rule is he must uphold the interest of the client by all fair and honorable means. Continuing further with the Bar Council rules, the advocate must not represent any establishment in which he is a member. In other words, a member of our society cannot be part of this consultation process or representation process. He must not have any interest in the society, either by virtue of membership or through any other means. He will not appear in a matter in which he has pecuniary interest. In other words, he will not represent the society in which he stands to gain monetarily. Also, he will not plead or appear for the opposite party in the same matter. This is of particular interest to us. We must understand that all this is only limited to suits and not to advisory services. That is rule number 23 for your reference. Let us take the case of Advocate Shekhar Patil, whom we are consulting. Some of you may recall that in one of the earlier videos I had mentioned that Shekhar Patil is very adept and he is an expert in dealing with property transfers, with conveyance deeds and such other matters, and that he had worked for some of the landowners when they transferred land at the initial stages when this township was coming up. In fact, at that time it was not even known as the Forest Trails Township. It was a Manas Cooperative Society, and it was dealing with some parts of the land on which the bungalow societies are today standing. They were later incorporated into the larger Forest Trails Township. Now, Advocate Patil has given us in writing that he has no conflict of interest before taking up this assignment. That is on record, and you will be able to examine all these documents when you come for the general body, at which the conveyance deed will be examined and it will be adopted. So that brings us to the end of this particular session or video. In the next video lesson, we shall be looking at unsold units being used as guest rooms. What are the legal implications, and are they allowed, and if allowed, how so? Thank you very much for your attention, and until we meet, bye-bye.